Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today we are covering Companion, which came out this year in 2025. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So, I am drinking the Republic of Tea High Calf Cinnamon Toast Black Tea, which last episode I was drinking, and this is good. This is good. But it's got black tea, cinnamon, green tea extract, natural flavor, stevia extract, and toasted rice.
And I am also drinking a High Calf Republic of Tea's Ginger Mint Green Tea. And this one has green tea, ginger, spearmint, peppermint, and green tea extract. And it is a little spicy from the ginger, but the mint helps mellow it a little bit. So it's very nice.
Yeah, I like it. It's smooth.
Very nice, yeah.
Yes. And thank you to the Republic of Tea for allowing us to continue to do what we love. And for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. And I also realized we have not been announcing what mugs we're using. So this is on our Teespring. It's the Please Don't Kill Me mug.
And I am drinking out of the I'm going to kill you at some point mug.
Yeah, so they're sister mugs,
Yes.
and it's from a quote that happened now several years ago.
Has it been?
Yeah. Yep. But, yes. So for the summary, which I did not write, so here we go. So, this girl, Iris, goes with her boyfriend to a
Couples weekend getaway.
Yeah, couples weekend getaway. And one of the people ends up... Oh, yeah. Okay, trigger warning. Trigger warning for sexual assault, for abuse. Just trigger warning for...
Body horror.
Body horror. Yeah. So one of their friends tries to assault her, and she stabs him.
And kills him.
And she comes back, and the boyfriend reveals to her that she is a robot, a companion robot. And that he put, he essentially modded her so that way she would become violent and kill the friend. So that way they could get money.
To get around the robot rules of non-violence.
Yes. Yeah, so, entertainment. I gotta say, this movie, I enjoyed, all the way through. We'll talk about another movie that I feel like had a little bit more solid of an ending, but this movie had me so, interested. From start to finish. I had to know what was gonna happen next.
Yeah.
I thought how they met was super cheesy and not that realistic, but I thought that was just what the movie was trying to go for. And then when I realized she was a robot, I'm like, that makes so much more sense.
What about the guys?
Yeah. And then taking off the suit and
yes, they're meet cute.
Yeah. But it's once you're expecting it, though, then you're just oh, okay.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah. But I thought it was so interesting. The lead up to, her killing, you're okay, she, really likes him to the point where it's kind of unhealthy. And then once it's revealed, you're oh, that's why. And then whenever she starts fighting back, especially whenever she looks at, her controls and sees that her, intelligence is, at 40%, and she's really? But it's,
It's so very telling.
Yeah.
It tells a lot more, obviously, about him than it as her, but
right. But I find it so interesting how they had her be able to fight back. And then, like, especially, like, her in the car and, like, trying to change her voice to be able to, like, activate it. And, it's so cool. And then, you know, they really make the boyfriend. At first, you're like, okay, he's kind of an amazing guy, but it's like, okay.
He's a total narcissist.
But then you find out, oh, he's a douche and he needs to go. And then so you just end up rooting for her to win. And especially, like, at the end, whenever he recaptures her and he, like, forces her to, like, hold her hand over and she's, like, crying and stuff. Like, yeah, they do, like, a really good job with not giving away too fast how evil the boyfriend really is. And then once they are like, okay, he's evil, they just go ham and you're like, oh, I hate him. But...
Well, and you could see him devolving mentally throughout the movie. Like, everything keeps going wrong.
Yeah. He obviously really likes control.
Oh, yeah.
I also thought it was interesting how they were showing how different people with their own companion robots were acting. Like I forgot the gay couple's his name.
We're bad. We're so bad.
We need to look at names. Dang it. But he is like short, curly black hair. Yeah. But anyways. I thought it was really interesting where it's like, you know, you have the main boyfriend with Iris who is obviously like just 100% using her for his own satisfaction and ego. And while you have
his own validation.
Yeah. Well, you have the other couple where it's like the guy with the companion bot was literally falling in love with him, which, you know, it's like...
He legitimately cared about that robot.
Yeah. And so I thought it was really interesting that they snuck different relationships in this movie. So it's like it's such a simple storyline, but they really take the time to expand on the world, the capabilities, the ins and outs and intricacies of the relationships. I thought it was really well done.
We also got to see an outside perspective from the chick.
Yeah.
Kat, I think her name was.
Yeah.
Who said, I don't hate you. You make me feel replaceable.
Yeah. And at the time you're like, what? And then once you find out that she's a robot, you're like, oh.
I had already called it by then, but...
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like... well, sorry. But it's like, you know, she seemed... Like, Iris definitely seemed off.
Yeah.
But I was... Robot was not what my conclusion was. I was just like, let me see where they go with this first before I make any conclusions.
It was... There were too many things.
Oh man,
and especially,
I want to rewatch it.
And especially when he said, go to sleep. And she immediately stopped talking and was just out. When they were in bed?
I missed that.
It was after his gross O face that I could have lived without seeing and hearing.
Oh.
I don't know. There was a lot of things that
I was trying to...
It was kind of easy to call.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I completely missed her going. But I mean, obviously, if she goes to sleep right after he says go to sleep, then that's definitely. But I thought they didn't show what happened to her.
Conversation. I don't know.
Because I know
they didn't show it, like her eyes or anything at the time.
Okay, yeah.
But she
honestly
stopped talking and stopped moving.
Honestly, I was like, what a dick. Like,
yeah, me too. But at the same time, like, really?
See, I thought that maybe she was just like stunned or like taken aback or something, and was just like, okay, like, you know, her being kind of like a doormat type of thing. You know, at the time,
he was extremely controlling. Yeah, but I don't know. There were just several things.
But I mean,
Several
like,
little
some
things.
Yeah,
here and there.
yeah.
I'm
Like her, like, falling
there's
asleep
something
during the
off
car ride.
with her.
Yeah.
And he said, wake up, and she's immediately, like, awake and talking. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, and I also like the fact that they have her like actively fighting for control
Yes.
and autonomy, and then at the end she gets it. She gets it.
I love how even though the guy robot was reset, he still remembered those feelings. Feelings aren't supposed to be a robot thing. And he overrode his programming and got those memories back.
Yeah,
Even though he knows that they were just programs.
yeah, but still, like, it's real to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I do find really interesting that they explore, specifically with the male companion, where
Like,
he's
where's
like,
the line?
yeah, it's like, where's the line? But also, like, you know, even though they're fake memories, they're real to him.
Yeah. So what is it? It's where's the line of what makes them real?
Yeah.
Are they just code, or are they something more? Because artificial intelligence can mimic certain things, but it can't really mimic emotions or expressing those emotions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know they're getting like better and better
They
about
are.
like having robots like say that they feel a particular way, but it's just like one of the things where it's like, well, since they're not alive, we don't know, like, how do you verify that they actually feel what they're saying that they feel?
Yeah. Or are they saying it because that's how they're supposed to respond in that
Right.
situation? And
Yeah.
they know that's how they're supposed to respond in that situation.
Yep. Yep.
So there's a lot of gray area that they
Yeah,
dig
this
into.
this one's a fun one to unpack.
Yeah, this one's good.
Yeah. But yeah, so wrapping up entertainment for me, because I know we've been harping on. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really interesting. Like I said, I feel like the ending could have been. I don't like the fact that for her to get her own autonomy, she had to get another human to give it to her. But you know, in a way, it's almost like, you know, the previous movie that we covered was about gender identity. I could honestly see this one being about, like, I mean, obviously there's male companions too, but like just autonomy and bodily rights. So it's like, you know, I could see like the reason why she would want to reach out to the guy was, you know, in the movie it's actually because he works for that company. But from a symbolic part, it's like, well, you need an ally, you need someone that's also on your side that also wants you to have autonomy in order to first get autonomy and then keep your autonomy.
And it helps to get that validation too of, you're right, you should have some kind of autonomy.
Yeah.
So be it a friend, a family member, a therapist, someone, a doctor,
Yeah.
someone, it's nice to have that vindication.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the word. My mind just was like, bye.
But,
That
yeah.
vindication of, yes, you should have some kind of autonomy.
Yeah, so it's like I can see that, but that was my one complaint.
Yeah.
But I did like that the fact that even though she put her intelligence at 100%, and they did clarify 100% just meant like Yale student or
Yeah, like
something
Ivy
that.
League.
But like I'm glad that they didn't make her like too smart. to
Yeah.
where she still was in danger. She
Wasn't
like,
infallible.
yeah. But it's like you could tell
Yeah.
the difference.
It wasn't supercomputer, but yeah. I get that.
Anyways,
did you
well done.
give it a rating?
7.75.
Okay. Yeah. I give it a 7.25. And it might go up a little bit after a few more watches. I did enjoy it. A bit more than 7, but not quite a 7.5. That's why I went with 0.25.
Our rating scale's all messed up.
It really is. It's such a mess.
We can't do whole numbers anymore.
We can't do it. It's an interesting premise, and I love the different technologies in it. Also, can we please have self-driving cars like that?
I know.
Please?
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to read a book, eat, take a nap, play a game, interact with my child, do whatever in the car instead of having to worry about the road and the other idiots on it.
Yeah.
And not everyone else that drives is an idiot. I know that.
But that's
they're
why
out there.
Self-driving cars are great.
But they're out there.
Because they will stop idiots.
They would at least decrease the number.
Yeah.
Behind the wheel.
Yeah.
But,
Because it'd just be so convenient to be able to do stuff while you're waiting to go to your destination.
It would be such a time saver. But yeah.
Now, what would be a real time saver is when we learn to teleport.
Yeah. That is true. That is very true. Anyway.
We digress.
Anyway.
Again.
The robot was... They were very good. They were very smart. They made mostly good decisions. The interactions between the people felt believable. The ones between the robot and the guy, the guy couple, they were almost sickly sweet at times.
Yeah. Well,
but they were cute.
They were cute. I will say, before they had the robot reveal, I'm like, okay, this couple is a little bit too fake. But then I was like, oh, that's fine. And now they're cute.
I mean, I could still kind of see that couple.
Well, especially if they're in the honeymoon phase.
And especially if they're in front of others. They won't necessarily be, their 100% authentic selves. They might be a little more sweet than they normally are in front of others.
True.
But, so I can see that happening. But they were so cute.
They were.
And the one guy, the human in the couple, had some messed up things here and there, but you could tell that he definitely cared about that robot.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a bummer when he died.
I know.
I didn't care any kind of way about Kat.
Yeah. Kat was...
Nah.
Yeah. But, I mean, she is kind of a part of the whole plan, so...
Yeah, she was kind of a bitch from the get-go, so, which I can kind of understand her feelings toward the robots, and I'll totally get that.
Right.
Yeah. But, at the same time, bye, Felicia. And the main guy, when he dies, it was satisfying. It was very satisfying. So, I love at the very end when she, waves to another one of her in a different car with her robot hand.
Yeah. I thought that was cool.
That was great.
I also like that she just kept her robot hand, exposed.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Yeah. And others can explain it away as it's a prosthetic.
Right.
It's a really, really good prosthetic.
Especially for, the time in the future that they're portraying.
Yeah, they
that could totally be
so much technology and everything. That seemed like it could be a thing. But the fact that they had the same face, just different color hair and eyes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That was great. I did have a few issues here and there with the realism that brought me out of it a little bit, because it makes me question why didn't you? And then I know it's a lot of movies gotta movie things because they want things to happen a certain way and they gotta expand the plot and have more things happen and make it higher stakes and everything, but at the same time, really? So took away a little bit there, but on the whole, it was interesting. And I enjoyed the vast majority of it. So, yeah.
What do you even say for realism? Okay.
It's a hard one because we're dealing with a level of technology that we don't currently have here.
Right. So it's like that you kind of have to put up to...
Yes, we have to allow for some things.
But I would say the plan about, like, modding a robot... 100%.
I could easily see someone doing that. Oh, yeah. I feel like that would be rampant.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be rampant.
Yeah. Which I would feel like if it's that easy to mod, they should have, like, some sort of, like, redundancies in the code. Like, they have redundancies in, like, airplanes for safety. They should have redundancies in the code, especially when it... comes to like hurting someone.
So it would make sense if he was like a high level programmer to begin with.
Yeah. And would understand.
But he didn't seem to be.
Yeah. Yeah. He just more like, oh, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And he put it on a flash drive.
Yeah.
And then put it on his phone.
Which I'm not sure how him putting the flash drive in the phone would be able to... I mean, it's like, I know it's like a remote connection, but it's like, I would feel like they would have like some sort of firewall or some sort of block. You know, like he would have to insert it like directly into her somewhere if they had that available.
Well, so it didn't work whenever the Wi-Fi was disabled.
Yeah.
On the app, or when the bullet disabled the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Manually. But yeah, it just seemed a little convenient.
Yeah.
It was convenient.
Yeah. Because he could have, like, while she was sleeping, he could have plugged it into her, and the same situation would have happened.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like them having it in the phone would, like, yeah. But I think maybe it was because they're trying to hold off the reveal of her being a robot, even though they're giving you hints that she was. Which makes sense, which is fair. For storytelling purposes, I accept this.
Well, he also just wasn't very good at planning this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Neither of them were.
No. Well, I just love the fact that he's like, I thought you said that he was a part of the Russian mafia. It's like, well, he's not, but I wasn't going to correct you. It's like, oh my God.
But he made that much money selling sod?
Yeah, that was... Yeah, there were a few things that, like, didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I will say that, like, how people were treating the robots definitely seemed, like, all different spectrums, I thought was really realistic.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, like, him, like, torturing her to see, like, how far it would go. Like,
and if she actually feels pain.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, I can 100% see people doing that.
And that one guy that worked for the company that went to pick her up was alluding to the other guy that, yeah, there's a whole bunch of sickos out there and they do all kinds of crazy crap with them because they can get away with it because they're not human.
Yeah,
which is just...
Yeah. Yeah.
Humans are a sick race.
Yeah.
We're a sick species.
Well, we're also very curious, even though that can be to the detriment of other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, her evading, like, the cat-mouse thing, like, you know, during the chase and stuff, I thought was pretty good. Oh, I don't know. This one's a toughie. I think I'm going to give this one a 3.5. I think that one's pretty decently...
It's hard. This one is hard. This one's a bit of a tough one.
No, I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3, and that's what I'm sticking to.
I'm gonna give it a 2. Their plan sucked. It had way too many holes. And also, there were just so many issues with afterwards. So, she gave herself Ivy League intelligence, but she can't think to turn off the ringer on the phone.
That's fair.
Like, turn it on Do Not Disturb. Like, it was on vibrate. I'm
to be
pretty
fair,
sure,
she has a lot to think about.
But still, they're gonna try to find the phone. So turn the GPS off on the phone, turn it on Do Not Disturb, and change the effing passcode.
Yeah,
on the phone.
Passcode, yeah. That would have been like a first.
On the off chance, even if you do get away, like, she's hoping to get away. But on the off chance that something goes wrong, and it likely will, then maybe change the passcode so no one else can get in the phone except you. So they can't change your settings from the phone. Yeah. She already turned off the voice commands, which was good. And I appreciated. That was like the first thing she did. Yes, thank you. Good job. Good call. Good job. But then she changes the intelligence, which is good. And then she comes up with a plan. Awesome. Gets into the car and all. That's great. She did great there. But those three things, like, why? They could track the phone potentially using someone else's phone so they know your location. So turn the GPS off or turn the phone itself off after you're done messing with the different things. Turn off the ringer, turn off the phone, do something. One of those two, like Do Not Disturb or turn it off completely.
I thought
until you need it.
Still a way for them to track you even with your phone off. Like, it's
you have to take out the battery.
Yeah. Okay, that's different.
But do something. Yeah. Like, at least try to turn that stuff on. Because a lot of people won't necessarily know how to track it unless the GPS on the phone specifically is on. So if you turn that setting off, a lot of people won't be able to track it.
Though, like, I can see her increasing the intelligence, like, increasing her reasoning ability, but it might not, or probably doesn't give her, like, additional knowledge that she didn't already know.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be basic things.
I mean,
would be one of the first
people know to take out a battery to not get tracked?
Everyone now. Nowadays, everyone. Literally everyone. If you've ever watched any TV show ever... you know to remove it. But, I mean, at the very, very, very least, turn it on silent and change the passcode.
Yeah.
That honestly might have been the first thing I did, apart from, like, turn off voice commands, even before the intelligence thing. Like, let me change these so I don't get found, and if they take the phone, if they do find me and take the phone, they're not able to get in it. As an extra FU, just 'cause, out of spite.
Yep.
Then, the cop finds them, and I know they're out kind of in the boonies, but they would have check-ins. He was killed, like, immediately. And cop cars kind of have these things called cameras. Dash cams on the front. Like,
well, and then especially at the, like, year or whatever that they're alluding to, like, he probably, I can't remember if he did or not, but I don't think he had a camera on his front.
I don't think so.
But the dash cam, like, definitely
would have. But the dash cam would have definitely been there.
Because it's like, I know nowadays, like,
even if it didn't, or they disabled it or whatever, he's not checking in or responding to any calls. He had gone out to respond to a call, a murder call at that.
Yeah.
So maybe think, oh, you know what? This guy hasn't responded or come back or checked in or anything. Maybe someone probably would have been like, hey, Bob. I don't remember what the guy's name was. We're awful at names. How's that call going on the murder that you went to investigate with the robot? If he's not answering, maybe we should send a few more people. Mm-hmm. So it just portrays the police force again as stupid. And not on top of things. And sure, maybe in some areas they might have a limited manpower for the really, really, really rural areas, but they're gonna at least keep in contact.
Yeah.
So just drives me nuts. Oh, and she's over here kicking at the window forever in the car when there are already like cracks in it and webbing coming out from it. So it should have either broken sooner, or she could have used the dang knife. Like, windows are supposed to, for cars especially, supposed to withstand a lot of blunt force, but they don't really withstand a lot of sharp, like, concentrated force onto one point. So she could have grabbed the knife and kept stabbing. That's basically what window breakers are, is all that force is concentrated on that one little point.
Yeah, though with the blade of the knife being, like, flat, I don't know how easy...
No, like, stab at it.
Well, I know.
That's still just one concentrated point.
Yeah.
Just saying. But yeah, it's a lot of little nitpicky things like that in the scenario itself. Like, there's no way the guy wouldn't have been caught. You can't tell me that the company can't tell when the last reset was and how suspicious that would be. They might not necessarily be able to prove it, but I feel like they should have some kind of backup somewhere. It's from an app. And again, how is he, like, modding it from the app itself?
Right.
Like, just, no.
That would be too much of a vulnerability.
Yes, exactly.
Because then someone could hack into the phone and then, like, mod the robot or whatever.
And if you potentially get into the database for other people's logins for the app, then they could potentially mod a whole bunch of people's robot. And that would be a huge problem and liability for the company. It just wouldn't happen. No.
Yeah, no. I'm glad we're on the same page, though. Like, this is a problem.
This is a very big problem.
And I don't think they would do that.
Glaring hole.
Their security department would have a heyday.
Oh, yeah. And their legal department.
Yeah.
They would have an aneurysm.
What are you doing?
No, absolutely not. So it's a lot of movies got a movie. It's big movies got a movie stuff. And again, a lot of those things that I was saying about, like, the ringer, the GPS, the passcode on the phone, it was, a lot of it, I'm sure, was to extend the plot a little bit and make the runtime a little longer and have more problems thrown in.
I did find it really interesting, though, how, like, whenever the boyfriend was giving the male companion commands, like, whenever he told him to stop her and he just, like, shot, it's like, well, you told me to stop her, like, you didn't specify.
Well, he upped the aggression to, like, 100%. What did you expect was going to happen?
Yeah, but it's like, I did find that interesting that they did touch on that, like, be careful on what kind of commands that you give them.
You have to be specific.
Yeah.
He just said stop her.
Yeah.
He didn't say, like, keep her from leaving or, like,
well, I mean, even that
block the door or...
Yeah, like, either specifically tell him how to stop her or be like, keep her alive, but keep her from leaving or something.
Kidnap her,
yeah. Preserve her.
Yes.
But don't let her leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he stopped her permanently.
Yeah.
He followed the directions.
He did. Yep. But yeah. Yeah, it's like, I feel like it's a movie that, I don't know, it's like, it is kind of a dark movie, like, in some, like, especially whenever he's, like, super abusive, so I don't think everybody would be super jazzed about this movie, but I think quite a few people would like this. It is a pretty straightforward plot that just explores some really cool, ideas and kind of touches on, subjects that are very relevant for today. So I think a lot of people might enjoy this. So
I agree.
But thank you for joining us today, and let us know what you thought of the movie. And if you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord server. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support us monetarily, we have a Teespring and PayPal, or we have our affiliate link with Republic of Tea available. It does not affect the price of the tea. It just allows us to continue to do what we love. And you can find all of those sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye.